And you, of course, when you practice, because you were teaching for a number of years, and then you were practicing and ultimately became the managing partner of a law firm.
I set up that law firm. I became the managing partner of the law firm. But prior to that, I worked with Fugger and Company. I became a director in Fugger and Company. And when I started Sozo Law Consult with my friend, we decided to have what we call the SLC Law Forum, which had a training. One of its objectives and one of the things they did was to train, was to have teaching sessions. And so we were focused on commercial law, basically. And so teaching has always been woven into whichever part of the bed I'm waking up on.
Advice, you said that, ethics is important, excellence is important. Do you have any other tips for those in the audience that want to remain advocates in terms of building a practice or how you move forward in a practice? What suggestions or lessons did you learn?
I think it's about staying true to your identity. If you find you love something, then you give it at your all, your discipline, your commitment, your focus. And I believe that we should all have a sense of purpose. I'm here. There's this expression, YOLO, you only live once. And today happens only once. And this hour is not coming back. So really, why don't you use it in doing something that you love, expresses you, and then also gives a lot. So layers and layers of giving in every given moment. I think that's a good way to spend your time.
Do you also think it is a responsibility, indeed an obligation, of those of us who've been blessed with an education, blessed with some success, that it really is a responsibility to give back?
Absolutely, absolutely. The community is evolving. The society is developing, and it takes people to put content into it. And when you have been blessed to have come out of your childhood unscarred and unmarred by difficult circumstances, you've been blessed with an education, you've been blessed with opportunities, I think that it's absolutely necessary to enrich the lives of others. But you do, I think that you do it not just by philanthropy, but also every corner that you have the opportunity to serve in, give it your all.
And you give it your all, because I want to talk about some of your other interests. A poet, a playwright, very active at church. Tell us about that journey, because you indeed believe that it is the moment, every moment you have to maximize, and you have to do things that bring you joy. So tell us about that.
These are serendipitous situations I found myself in. You find yourself very happy. Poetry comes out of me when I'm in a serene environment, I'm in a happy environment, I'm troubled. I think one day, at some point I started to ask myself, when do these poems come out? And I realized that when I had an emotional moment. From quite a young age, I found myself writing things down, enjoying poetry and writing fiction. And so I started to capture them. And I would usually have paper and pen around me for it, because I don't know when exactly the moment kicks in, but it could be driving along the road, it could be sitting at the airport, it could be watching the rain fall through or even sitting in court sometimes during a trial, and the case hits you in the guts, and then I write something. I guess it's a gift, but it's a gift I'm very happy to have.
and a gift that you have been open to. So the issue of being open to opportunities or those moments has also helped you balance your life. Is that right?
I believe so, yes. I'm very conscious of the fact that life can get too crowded if you enjoy using opportunities. For instance, you want to be part of community of women lawyers, you want to be part of the community in church, you want to be part of family meetings, etc. It can get too crowded. And so over time, I've learned to balance and agree that sometimes as a cause, I would love to help, but I can't be immersed in it. And so I would give it some space, but not a lot of space, you know. And when you can't afford to invest time, you say so.
Knowing what you have the capacity to do and being able to tell people no is also important, right?
I believe so, absolutely. Or you burn out, and not only burn out, you may get emotionally unpleasant. I find that when I'm unable to contribute and I'm being pushed, then I can't be smiley. I cannot be friendly, and then I go very serious or withdrawn. And nobody wants to be dealing with a person who is feeling emotionally negative. And so, as a person, you need to know yourself. How much can I take? How should I pace myself? What is important? And when you're a judge, you have to be aware of your boundaries. You are always on display wherever you are. Your behavior is being measured. And so you have to appreciate who you are and your circumstances, what you are, what you must do, what you must not do. But all in all, I think that if you're true to yourself, it's not too much of a burden.
You balance not only the different, because you're involved in so many activities that advance the law, you're teaching of judges, still working with students. One of the things you did, you were responsible for, I believe, that law clerk program. Would you share what that is with us?
We have a standing internship committee, which ensures that students from the faculties and the law schools have a structured internship experience that is incorporated into the grading of their work. They work with judges, they work with law firms. So these are not informal arrangements that the students can take on for their own training. These are formal arrangements that the schools, the faculties are overseeing. So we have a standing committee where you have the registrar of the law school, you have the faculties represented, academia represented, the bench represented, but the chair is a judge, is a Supreme Court judge. And from my time in the Court of Appeal, I have been part of this committee. It's been many years, and it's very delightful working with the students. The legacy of the law in the community is the consistent right application of law. Law is a stability of the community.